Hi, everyone. It's Matt Barrows with the 49ers Plus Minus podcast. I'm coming to you from lovely Seattle, where, surprise, surprise, it's overcast. I'll give you a quick view of my hotel room. They gave me a lovely highway view. Yeah. Just a quick update before tomorrow's game. There was one roster move today. The team elevated standard elevation from the practice squad, wide receiver Russell Gage, that was expected, and linebacker Curtis Robinson, that was also expected. The significance of that is that they didn't elevate running back Sincere McCormick with Jordan James doubtful with a finger injury. If the 49ers had felt like they were low on running backs, if a certain running back wasn't going to play, they probably would have elevated McCormick to the game day roster. They did not, which is another indication that they believe at least Christian McCaffrey is going to play. And that seems to be where this is trending. There's some key differences between this year and last year, and yes, there are some key similarities as well, including the part of the body that is giving McCaffrey some issues. But last year, that was giving him issues for a long time. He would have flare ups. He would go back to practice. He would overdo it. It would flare up again. It just never went away until he really took a long time off of his legs. Went to Germany for treatment, et cetera, et cetera. This year he was good to go for all of training camp. He didn't really ever take a day off for that. He took a normal kind of veteran rest day, the type of day that Nick Bosa gets, that Trent Williams gets, and on and on and on. But the calf did not cause him to miss any time. And that was his point on Friday, is that he's felt really, really good up until this point. He decided to be more cautious than usual and take himself out of Thursday's practice and out of Friday's practice. And here we are going into tomorrow's game. One other sort of slight difference between this year and last. Remember, as we got closer to the Jets game last year, the week one opener at home against the Jets, the 49ers changed his injury designation from calf to calf slash Achilles because he was dealing with Achilles tendonitis. This year it's calf. They are, required to be as precise as possible. Can they skirt those rules? Have teams skirted those rules in the past? Yeah, they have. But it doesn't appear like it's the same Achilles tendonitis as it was last year. Now, could this turn into Achilles tendonitis? Sure, it could. But right now, it doesn't seem that's the case. I think that the bigger question for tomorrow isn't so much will Christian McCaffrey play. I think he will. It's how much Brian Robinson will play. How much do the 49ers take McCaffrey off the field and, make Robinson the lone tailback? They could do some stuff where both are on the field, but they don't usually do a lot of that. Both Robinson and Kyle Shanahan were pretty clear yesterday that he's still learning the playbook. It's a big playbook. There's a lot of responsibility, and that's a work in progress. So it's an interesting dynamic. Isaac Arendo will also be up in uniform. He's going to be the kick returner. He's also probably going to play punt coverage like we saw him do in the preseason finale. So he's got a role, certainly on special teams. Also interesting to see what his role is on offense, if he has a role on offense, because the third tailback, oftentimes doesn't have a role. But with McCaffrey's injury situation, with Robinson's newness to the team, wouldn't be surprised if Isaac Arendo took some snaps. Okay, what else going into the game? Let's just go position by position, and we'll go to wide receiver. Gage being activated was expected. That means that the starters tomorrow will be Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall. I think that Marquez Valdez Scantling, MVS, as he's known, will be the de facto third wide receiver. Tim Kawakami, who's in Seattle, by the way, but not part of this podcast. And frankly, I'm not letting him into my hotel room. He thinks that Gage will get the third highest number of snaps. We disagree on that. We'll see. And then Sky Moore, he's going to be the punt returner, get a smattering of snaps as well. So that's five. And they usually have five up on game days. Quarterback, everything is as you would expect. I expect Adrian Martinez to be the emergency third quarterback, and the 49ers hope to God that they don't have to go to a third quarterback on Sunday. Especially considering that Martinez just arrived, and like Brian Robinson is probably still learning the offense to this point. He's got a lot more responsibilities than the running back does. Okay, offensive line. It looks like Dominic Pooney is going to be good to go. I mean, he's not even wearing a sleeve or any sort of protection over his knee, and hasn't for a week or so. So he's your right guard. Ben Barch, he'll probably be playing with a brace over his elbow. Is your starter at left guard. I think that means that Matt Hennessy has to be up. He's the backup center. And I think Spencer Burford has to be up. So that's seven. They usually keep eight up on game days. So to me, the question is whether that eighth guy is Austin Pleasance, who would back up McKivitz at right tackle, or if it's Connor Colby, the seventh round pick out of Iowa, who would be one of the, relieve one of the two guards, if that were the case. The thing with Burford is that he's been playing tackle, but also could play guard in a pinch. So could Matt Hennessy in a pinch to get you through this game. So that's sort of a question mark for me, at least, heading into this game. Tight end, there are only three active, so those guys will be the ones who play, and those are George Kittle, who always seems to have a big game in Seattle, Luke Farrell, and Jake Tonjes. Sorry, Jake, for hesitating there for a second. D-line. The question mark to me is Yetur Gross-Matos. He didn't practice on Wednesday. He was limited on Thursday, and he didn't practice on Friday, and yet Kyle Shanahan said that he's good to go, meaning that he's going to play in this game. I guess so. I mean, he didn't get a lot of practice time at all this summer or the spring. So it's sort of a question mark whether he plays. If he does, it seems clear that either Robert Beal or Sam Okwanu would be down, a healthy scratch for this game. I don't think we'll see Jordan Jefferson. He's the guy that they just picked up off of waivers from the Jaguars about 10, 12 days ago. Probably too soon to see him up. So it's going to be a lot of CJ West and a lot of Alfred Collins. I guess that is a bit of a question, whether it's Collins or Jefferson who are in uniform. Jefferson's new, but he played last year for the Jaguars, got a lot of snaps. So he's more accustomed to the NFL, certainly, than Alfred Collins. Alfred Collins was here for all of training camp. So it'd probably be a little bit of reaction if Alfred Collins is a healthy scratch for this game, considering he was the second-round draft pick and a pretty high second-round pick. Linebacker, like I said, Curtis Robinson is up. That's mainly for special teams, but he can play the other three linebacker positions very well, including middle linebacker, which I think could be a big deal. If one of the linebackers is inactive in Seattle, I think it would be Tatum Bethune, because he's not the swiftest guy, so maybe not the best guy on special teams. He's pretty much limited to middle linebacker in a kind of reserve capacity. So he might be the guy who's down. And then in the secondary, I think Darrell Luter will be up because of special teams. And I think Sharon Neal will be up because of special teams. And if somebody's down, I would guess that it's Chase Lucas, the preseason star. He's largely a nickelback. He did get some snaps at outside cornerback. So it's possible he's up, but that might be the guy who's down from that group. And then safety, that's sort of the one spot where we don't know who the starter is. It's either going to be Marquise Siegel, the 5th-round rookie, or Jair Brown, the 2023 third-rounder, who was drafted under the Steve Wilkes regime and who had some issues last year. Siegel, frankly, has looked better, and he's been healthier in training camp. He's played a lot next to Jason Pinnock, who I think will start for sure. Just the question is, do you start a rookie at safety in week 1? And that's the question. We could see a lot of dime, or at least some dime. 49ers have done that in the past, where they have 3 safeties on the field, and that would be something that I think Siegel would be comfortable with. It's something he did quite a bit at Kansas State. Okay, well, that's the long and short of it. Game kicks off at 1:05 tomorrow. Should be a good day for football, around 70 degrees and overcast. Thanks a lot.